Good morning, Ekoji, and welcome to our Sunday morning service. My name is Pilar, and I will be your service chair today. We are grateful for your presence. The service is being live streamed on Zoom and YouTube. On the Najin today is our resident minister, Reverend Nariaki Hayashi, and minister's assistant, Bob Shinokachi. If you are new to Ekoji, you will find in the back of each seat pocket this laminated guide, which will help you through the service and answer many questions you may have regarding the service order, as well as the history and the essentials of Shin Buddhism. Our main priority is keeping our Sangha a safe place to hear the Dharma. Although we are very happy to see each other, please be mindful of others' comfort levels. Please keep in mind the following policies: keep your masks on at all times, and be mindful of social distance. We are allowed to chant along with Reverend Hayashi since we have a mask on. Thank you for your understanding. Reverend Hayashi will now lead us in opening meditation and recitation of the Nebula.
Meditation provides a pause that prepares our mind to receive the Dharma, the Buddha's teachings. Please place your hands on your lap, lower your head slightly, close your eyes, and release tension from meditation.
Please find the laminated sheet in the service book. We will now sing the Vandana Tisarana, the three refuges. Please rise. Please be seated. Please turn to page 33 in the service book. We will now chant the Sangutsi book. This morning, our Dharma message will be given by Reverend Hayati.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Sunday Dharma service. So, for many, Nirvana is thought as the aim, the objective of Buddhism, and there are many paths to Nirvana. And that's why there's many sects and denominations in Buddhism. In the teaching of Pure Land Buddhism, Nirvana occurs through our birth in Pure Land. So that is why it's called Pure Land Buddhism. Nirvana occurs through our birth in Pure Land. So Pure Land and Nirvana are not only related, but also Pure Land can be thought of as a realm or a place outside of this world. However, today I want to talk about these things in a little different way. So let me tell you a story. This week, there were a couple of rainy days. And I remember always being curious about snails that came out on a rainy day when I was a kid. I always had all sorts of questions, what are they? Why do they look that way? Why are they so slow? Where do they come from? Where do they go? I don't know why, but I was always curious about snails. And in this Northern Virginia area, it looks like slugs are more prevalent than snails, but you can still see them in forests, falls, and rivers such as the Potomac River. There's an old joke that goes, what is the definition of a slug? A snail with a housing problem. So the characteristic of a snail is that they carry a shell. And I found it interesting that snails grow their own shells, and they don't find one like hermit crabs. They grow their own shells. According to the article, How Stuff Works, snails all hatch from eggs inside of the mother's body. The newborns then they squirm out and then they face the world. A baby snail that came out to the outside world soon faces many challenges like predators, mechanical damages, and also the sun, the hot sun. To protect themselves from enemies and from drying out, a baby snail tries to develop a shell by eating foods high in calcium. For snails, eviction means death, as no snail can survive being torn away from its private calcified fortress. I think our lives are much like a snail. After being born from our mother's womb, we face many outside world challenges. As infants, we have to try to understand all the new things we see. We have to go through many health problems, skin problems, and we have to adapt to bacteria. As we age, the challenges we face becomes even more complicated that causes us to feel overwhelmed, stressed out, and depressed. The challenges in life try to dry out our lively spirit like a snail drying out from the sun. Like snails carrying their home for protection from any sorts of dangers, we too need a home that makes us feel secure and eases our hearts. By home, I don't mean like a physical home, because a physical home can burn down and family issues can take away your home. We need a home that will always be there for us, regardless. A home that our hearts can always return. Buddhism offers such home in the concept of nirvana. Nirvana literally means blown out, in the way that the flame of a candle is blown out. In his famous fire sermon, the historical Buddha Shakyamuni spoke of people burning with fires of three poisons: hatred, greed, and ignorance. Therefore, the attainment of nirvana represents the dousing of the existential fires of three poisons that are the cause of our stress and suffering. So generally, nirvana is understood as when the three poisons inside ourselves are all blown out completely, which is a condition also known as enlightenment, Buddhahood, or birth in Pure Land in Shin Buddhist terms. Now, nirvana may seem to be something that we strive for and try to get to. So it might seem to be something that is far away, waiting for us to reach. However, nirvana is not only to be understood as something waiting for us to reach, but also as an activity working on us here and now. This is especially so because in Shin Buddhism, we don't try to grasp the truth because we are already within the grasp of truth of nirvana. So we don't try to grasp the truth of nirvana because we are already within the grasp of truth of nirvana. For this reason, nirvana is referred to in the larger Buddhist tradition of Mahayana stream, to which our denomination of Shin Buddhism belongs, as non-localized nirvana, non-localized nirvana. By this is meant that nirvana is neither outside of our world of suffering, nor residing in a world of Buddha. The nature of nirvana transcends time and space. Therefore, nirvana can be something far away from us, but can also be with us all the time. So you can think of nirvana as something like a spiritual home or a home of heart that will always be with you, that surrounds you, supports you, and guides you. In the content of the Sambutsuge, which we chanted this morning, and by the way, there's an English translation available in it. But in the content of the Sambutsuge, Shakyamuni Buddha's closest disciple, Ananda, describes his master as, "World honored one, today all your senses are radiant with joy, your body is serene and glorious, and your august countenance is as majestic as a clear mirror whose brightness radiates outward and inward." But this passage would seem to indicate what Shakyamuni Buddha looked like after he attained an easing of heart. That is to say, someone with a spiritual home or a home of heart is naturally bright, peaceful, and calm, so that even though he still is in the midst of stress and suffering, they no longer matter because he has transcended them. If we know that we are all in the grasp of home of heart, we too can receive comfort and reassurance when we are in a difficult situation, even when we approach our final times. There's an old saying that goes, Snails always pass away at home. Snails always pass away at home. This saying means that snails who carry their home throughout their lives will also die in their home. There's a story about how we can do the same. This is a story of a very devoted Shin Buddhist follower, Genza. Genza had a friend who was approaching his final days. He was also a Shin Buddhist follower and enjoyed listening to the Buddha Dharma, but he was deeply afraid of dying. He had great anxiety about whether he would go to Pure Land to attain nirvana when he died. He thought he couldn't die with such anxiety. Desperately, he called Genza, expressed his fear, and asked what he should do with his anxiety. Genza, who was really senior, was also close to the end of his life. However, Genza, listening to his friend's distress, simply said, "My friend, don't worry, die just as is." The reason why Genza would say this was because he understood that everyone were already in the grasp of nirvana and wanted to remind his friend of that truth that he had forgotten. Genza made his friend remember that there was nothing to worry because he could die inside the home of heart where he has always been. Even as a minister, I cannot honestly say that I always receive comfort knowing that I am in the grasp of nirvana. I have had many rough times in life that I forgot about it or can't even care about it. It's very easy to say that we are all in the grasp of nirvana, but extremely hard always to feel that way. This may be the case for many of you too. However, whether we are aware or not, whether we have room in mind to think about it, it does not matter from the side of nirvana, as nirvana always works on us as the home of heart. And this is what it means to be accepted as we are. Please join me in Gasho. By reciting the Nembutsu Namo Amida Butsu, we are reminded what makes our individual lives even more meaningful, and we are also reminded the Dharma in times of need. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
During this part of the service, we participate in the ritual of Oshoko, traditionally the burning of incense. We invite you to come forward to the front table, offer gasho, and should you wish, participate in Oshoko and place any dana, which is our offering of gratitude to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, in the bowl on the table. Please approach mindfully with safe distancing. Once finished, please return to your seats via the side aisles. Reverend Hayashi will now lead us in closing meditation and a recitation of the Nebula.
Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
It is now time for our Sangha announcements. Just a quick recap of all of the events we have coming up. On Saturday, March 19th, starting at 8 a.m. is our virtual planning meeting for the Obon Festival this summer. On Saturday, April 2nd, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. is our garden work party and our Sangha potluck picnic. Sunday, April the 3rd is our Hanamatsuri service. Friday, April 22nd at 7 p.m. we will have this special event, a sound bath meditation. And on Saturday, April 23rd, from noon to 3 p.m., we'll be having our open house and our temple tours. For more information and to register for any of these events, please do visit the website. And as always, if you would like to join us for a Dharma discussion immediately following the service, please feel free to pull up a chair by the workstation and join the discussion.
Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
Thank you for the rest of your day.